And the game is tied with 29.5 remaining. Won't go. Rebound taken by Iguodala.
How did we get here? That's Stephen Curry, and this is the game that made him the greatest shooter in NBA history. What is up, dudes, dudettes, ballers, players? It's your boy MJ. There have been so many shooters in NBA history. We have come a long way from this. Where's the three-point line? The NBA three-point line was added to the NBA in 1979. That season, a total of 1,403 threes were made. The Rockets last season alone made 1,323 threes. The NBA in total made 27,822 threes, and a large part of this three-point boom is Stephen Curry. And while he may now be widely considered the greatest shooter in NBA history, a couple of seasons ago, he wasn't. So let's revisit that time and get to this point. Drop a like for these stories, and if you're new or even already subscribed, Stephen Curry made this. So please subscribe. Stephen Curry was the NBA MVP in 2014-2015, the year the Warriors exploded on the scene and won the championship. But Stephen Curry was nearly identical in 2013-2014. I mean, if you compare the numbers, Curry averaged less points, less assists, 0.3 more threes on 2% better from 30. He actually broke Ray Allen's three-pointers made in a single season in the 2012-2013 season. The main difference was that the Warriors were winning with an offense that was revolved around three-point shooting. We hadn't seen that actually work ever. Stephen Curry was always great at shooting threes. He shot 43% from the three in his rookie season. He was amongst the league leaders in threes made per game, but a three-point marksman was never the best player on a championship team. With the Warriors winning 67 games in the regular season and then winning the championship, Stephen Curry had inserted himself in the conversation of the greatest shooter in NBA history, even if it had only been 6 seasons and his resume was still lacking. We also hadn't seen a guy do this. Rest in peace. Curry was shooting threes off the dribble at the frequency and consistency that all seemed like bad shots. So many were riding the Steph Curry wave, but there were questions on whether Curry could keep this type of shooting up and where he could go from there. But no one, and I mean no one, saw what was coming next. Stephen Curry started the first 3 games of the 2015-2016 season, averaging 39 points and 7 assists, making 5.7 threes a game, including a 53-point explosion against the Pelicans. It wasn't just the three-point shooting, it was the handles, the passes, the ridiculousness of the shots. The Warriors won 24 straight, and the whole world was put on notice again. The debate had evolved into whether Stephen Curry was the best player in the NBA and whether he was possibly having the best season in NBA history. But there wasn't a signature moment you could just point to and be like, yeah, Curry's the best. For example, Curry's explosion for 54 points in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks in 2013 on February 27th was the game that made Curry a household name. It was his "I have arrived" moment, and he also left Draymond Green hanging. Michael Jordan has had a few signature moments, from when Larry Bird called Jordan God to the shot. Reggie Miller scored 8 points in 9 seconds that just showed how good of a shooter he was. Curry hadn't had that sort of moment in the 2015 playoffs. He was a superstar, don't get me wrong, but there was just no moment like that. Enter February 27th, 2016, a game between the Warriors and Thunder, exactly 3 years after his 54-point game in MSG. Till that point in the season, Steph was averaging 30.4 points, 6.7 assists, 5.3 rebounds off 51, 46, and 91. That's fucking insane. Just 21 days before that, on February 6th, the Warriors and Thunder played in a close game, which was pretty rare for the Warriors. Remember, this is when the Thunder had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, who were both healthy and still friends. The Warriors were 46-4 while the Thunder were 38-14 when this game took place. It was a 3-point game with under 2 minutes left, and then Curry whips a pass to Klay. Curry also did this. Cringe! While the Warriors did end up winning by 8, Curry had his worst 3-point shooting performance in the season, shooting 1 of 9 from 3. Yeah, Curry had 26 points and 10 assists, but in a matchup of the Giants, Curry wasn't the usual Stephen Curry that we had been seeing. So February 27th was a big game. It was playoffs atmosphere from the jump. The Warriors were going for the record of 73 wins, and Curry wanted to erase his previous performance. The Thunder were trying to prove to everyone that they could beat the champs and keep up with the best of the best. This game was crazy. There were tough shots left and right. Kevin Durant had 37 points and 12 rebounds, including 7 3-pointers. Klay had 32 points. Westbrook had 26 and 12 assists. Draymond had 14 rebounds and 14 assists. Serge Ibaka had 15 points and 20 rebounds. Just high-level basketball all around. The Thunder jumped out to a 10-point lead in the first quarter. Stephen Curry, he was keeping the Warriors in the game. He kept hitting 3 after 3, and not just your basic off-the-screen threes. I mean size up, off the dribble, leaning threes. There were deep threes with hands in his face. There was just no stopping him. The Thunder threw everything and the kitchen sink and the kitchen and Kyle Singler, and nothing worked. They threw all sorts of defenders from Roberson to Kevin Durant. In the fourth quarter, with the Warriors down 5 with under 2 left, Curry just pulled off the dribble from deep like it was nothing. Curry makes a pass to Klay for the 3, KD hits the tough shot, and after a bizarre sequence, Andre Iguodala makes 2 free throws to tie the game. And they head into overtime, in which Curry did more of the same. After a long back and forth, a game with all the hype filled with stars, MVPs, insane performances. Westbrook misses the go-ahead jumper. Iggy gets a rebound and passes it to Curry with 5 seconds left. And then this happens.
Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Curry hits a 32-footer to seal the game. He had enough time to take another step to get closer, but no. He brings the ball up and pulls up. It was the perfect representation of Curry. A deep 3 off the dribble from the logo so casually. It wasn't that he was running out of time. He chose to take that shot. You know it's special when Mike Breen says bang twice. Curry had 46 points with 12 3-pointers. 12 3-pointers! 12 3-pointers! He tied an NBA record for threes in a game. Not only that, but he also broke his own record for most threes made in a single season, giving him a total of 288 in February. He had just scored 51 the game before. It's as if everything just came together in this one game. Curry tied the record for the most threes in the game, broke the record for most threes in the season, quieted his doubters about a bad performance previously in the season, and had a signature moment. A game winner from deep. There really wasn't much debate on who the greatest shooter in NBA history was after that game. Everyone was in shock, including me. I remember watching that game and not even realizing what had just happened. Could we possibly break down more stats to see if Curry is the greatest shooter in NBA history? Probably, but Stephen Curry had passed the eye test. Curry obviously had big performances against great teams, but he had dominated the Thunder. That type of domination from a 3-point shooter, especially at the height of 6'3", had just never been seen before. It was different from these scorers like Jordan and Kobe, but better than Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. That unanimous MVP season pushed the envelope for threes. You can see how after the 2015-2016 season, 3-pointers jumped at an even higher rate. Heck, even Rudy Gobert is practicing threes now. Rudy Gobert. This has all further cemented Stephen Curry as the greatest shooter of all time, because his impact goes beyond just individual stats. And looking back at it, that was the game that Stephen Curry became the greatest shooter in NBA history. But what do you think? Is Stephen Curry the greatest shooter of all time? How will Curry do this year? Drop a like for this shot, cause wow. And also for more of these stories. I saw so many of you comment dominate on my last video. You real ones for that. And if you're still here, comment bang! Bang! So I know. The Instagram shout of the day goes to Chance Wolf, and the all-day notification shout goes to Christian Blake. Thanks for the all-day support. Make sure to hit the bell for all-day notifications, and if you're not a sub, hit that subscribe button, join the all-day community for more fire content and all-day support. It's your boy MJ. We out.
Okay, just hop in my spaceship, no.